In this video, I'm going to show you two drills to do for arguably probably the most important part of the golf swing, the takeaway. With these two drills, I can guarantee you'll be getting in a perfect takeaway move to set up your golf swing to have the best chance of good, consistent golf shots. So I'm Jonathan Chown with JChownGolf. Let's dive right into it and what we got to do for a perfect takeaway move. Now, just like we said in the intro there, having a good, solid takeaway move will help your consistency massively, because having a good takeaway move, one, helps us create a good club path, and two, helps us create a solid club face condition. So then we'll be hitting nice, solid, straight golf shots. But if our takeaway is poor, I've seen people do absolutely every single fault from a shot outcome from their takeaway being the root cause. I've seen people slice the ball from it, hook the ball, top it, shank it, everything that will just come from that takeaway move. So the most common thing we really see with people with a poor takeaway move is they'll be coming off the golf ball here and their hands will disconnect away from them. See how my hands, they're right here now, they're moving out in front of me. Golf swing, we're swinging on an arc around our body. We actually need it moving around our body with our hands. So if our hands disconnect, what happens from there? Club face opens up. So one, we're going to have to fight for the rest of the swing to be able to square up this club face. Two, because my hands are disconnected, they've gone outwards, now they're going to be primed to move up in the backswing rather than around. When we're moving up in the backswing, that's going to then promote us in the downswing to swing over the top. Our hands go really far out in front of us in the downswing, just as a natural movement that happens with rotation. So you can see two really horrible things from this example. Really a slicey shot, but we can also see golfers do the exact same disconnected takeaway with their hands and then them carry on rolling their forearm up to the top of the backswing where they get extra laid off, steepen the shaft. Also seeing people early extend from there. We do not want to be having all this stuff to make up for in the backswing. I mean, if we're here, we have to do so much to even get in a good position. It's just generally not worth the time doing that. We need a good takeaway straight away. So ideally, what do we want? We want, like we said, swing moves on an arc around our body. We need the hands moving in and around. This club, of course, is moving on an arc, but so is the hands. The club's moving on one. The hands are moving on a mini arc around our body. So we need the hands not getting further away. We need them getting closer to our body here. See how my hands are getting closer to my body. Now you can see as soon as I do this move, get the hands moving closer to the body, stop at shaft parallel to the ground. Look how different everything looks. Club face is square, club head is outside my hands there. My hands have moved in, so all I need to do from here, turn up my body, rotate. I'm in a good position here. I've got good depth to my hands, so my hands are deep enough and behind me a little bit. Club face is square. So now if I rotate in the downswing, everything falls on path. All I did there differently was the takeaway move. So let's get into a few little drills here. So just like I said in the intro, there are two really good drills to be able to promote this movement. One of these is for more of you visual learners out there. So if you want that really like to see visually what you're doing in the golf swing, and two is a real good physical one as well. So let's dive right into the first one. All we need is our glove and we need a tee. So what we do for the first drill here, this is our visual drill where it really will get us to see the proper movement in the backswing and see when we're doing it wrong. So all I'm doing is I'm putting the tee, I'm kind of zipping my glove there, I'm putting the Velcro back on, and now you can see my tee is pointing out between the Velcro and the leather of the glove, sticking outwards. So when we have our bad move in the takeaway where we're disconnecting the hands and arms, we can see how this tee is now pointing away from me. So you can almost see it as kind of like the glove logo as well. It's pointing out and away. But if I have now a good move and I have the hands moving more in and around, now more of a passive forearm because of it, you're going to see how the tee is now pointing diagonally down towards the ground. That's exactly what we need. We need this tee to be pointing diagonally down towards the ground, and then again we just turn up to the backswing. And if you want to feel any additional feels when it regards to wrist angles, we can still feel as we're coming down the downswing, that tee can still point down towards the ground to make sure that club face is square. So we want to avoid tee pointing away. We want it pointing down towards the ground. So if we just hit one here, just a small swing, having the tee point down towards the ground, we're going to know that club face is going to be nice and square. So there is an extra little bit we can do to this to make ourselves even more consistent when we're practicing to do this properly. We can do this for both of these drills, or one afterwards as well. So what we're going to do, let's isolate the takeaway move. So you might have seen someone like Ricky Fowler, for example, do a very similar drill to this. But you'll see pros do this movement a lot. They'll be, just before they hit the shot, they'll be rehearsing their takeaway move. Now, a drill that Ricky Fowler used to do when he was with Butch Harmon is he used to really work on setting his takeaway, making sure that's right, swinging up and hitting the ball. Why he would do that is so he could make the takeaway perfect. So if we can make that takeaway perfect, so for us with this drill, getting this glove and the tee in the glove pointing down towards the ground there and stop when I'm shaft parallel to the ground, I can now check my position like, you know, I'm a coach at the same time. So like you're there, like you're a coach, like me, you could be like me standing there watching you, checking these positions, and then once you say, yep, everything's all good there, you can swing up and go. So let's get to that position there. We'll have T pointing down towards the ground, check the position, yep, that's good, swing up and go. That's so you can get that perfect rep every time. We need perfect reps to be able to make a change. So go, that was the first drill, really good for visual learners, and you could also take that one out into the golf course by just purely thinking of your glove logo, having that pointing down towards the ground in the takeaway move. So this next one is one of my favorites. I've personally done this in my golf swing. So all we need again, it's just a tee. All we need for these drills is a tee and a glove. This one, don't even need a glove. But all we're doing is we're putting the tee into the butt end of our club just like this. So you can see how there's a bit of jotting out here. Now our whole goal again is we want the hands moving in and around. So what happens when we do it poorly? You can see how the tee, when I've disconnected my arms and my hands, so moving away from me, the tee is pointing down towards the target line. That's the move we want to avoid. Don't want that. We want this tee moving in and around. We want it moving closer to my right leg. Almost feeling like as I'm coming back here, the tee is brushing my right leg here. You could almost think if you're playing around a golf, obviously you wouldn't have this in there, but you would be thinking of the butt end of the club, feeling like it's getting very close to brushing your thigh. If you're doing that, you can guarantee this isn't happening. So same thing again, let's just feel a little kind of feel here. So I'm going to do a couple little rehearsals to make sure it's right. Then I'm going to hit a smooth, short little swing from there just to get the movement. And just like before, we can add in that same type of Ricky Fowler type feel. And as well, if you've been watching the Players Championship, you see Justin Thomas won, you'll see him before most of his shots, he'd be doing a similar feel, checking his takeaway, because tour players know that takeaway needs to be in place, otherwise they're gonna have a bad time. But it's one area that, you know, recreational golfers do not check that often, is what your takeaway is doing. It's another fundamental in my mind. So here we go. All I want tee to be almost brushing my thigh here. I'm going to get into that same shaft parallel to the ground position. You're going to see how the club head's a little bit more outside my hands doing this drill, but that's perfectly fine. I'm going to stop there, just like before, and swing up. So get to there, just brush my thigh, good, and then swing up and hit a ball. So that is the way for us to, one, get that perfect move, and then rotate up, get a good rep in there as well. So one more ball, doesn't matter how you hit the ball in here, how I'm doing it into a net is perfect practice, because we don't care about ball flight when we're initially working on this. Brushing your thigh, good, sharp parallel to the ground, swing up and through. So with those two drills under your belt, practice with those two, see what one you like more. Some of you are more visual learners, some of you are more physical. I'm physical myself, but I have many students who work really, really well with visual stuff as well. So find out what one works for you and then run with that one. And if you guys ever need any more help on any part of your swing, I'm also doing online lessons on a platform called SKILLEST, which is an app on the App Store. So all you need to do is download that app, search into my name, Jonathan Chown, and then my coaching profile will come up. And all you do from there is click online lesson, and then you can get a lesson, send them in, and I'll be able to help you personally with your golf swing. So we'll be able to tailor the information perfectly for you. So guys, if you found the video helpful, click that like button. And if you want more golf instruction just like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell button to be notified every time I put out a video. So if you get the takeaway right, a lot of your golf swing is going to happen naturally and effortlessly, and it result in better golf shots and more consistency.